松井かわいい焼きそば。よろしくお願いします。松井かわいい。
Dreamstar Fighting Marigold is in their second year of existence, and one of my favorites of this roster, and one of my favorites in general, is their little Harlequin gremlin Speedy Speed star, Psycho Speed, Misa Matsui. Of the evil group Darkness Revolution, she calls herself a super cute wrestler and uses the hashtag Matsui Kawaii, and since she is evil, that makes Misa Matsui very cute, very evil. She left the actress girls to fully become a pro wrestler, but life in the flower fields hasn't been kind to the ambitious speedster. With 6 title shots in 1 year already in Marigold, Misa Matsui has suffered loss after loss and was kidnapped from her plucky, brighter self and accepted evil in her heart with Darkness Revolution. She had her biggest match and a personal dream match of mine against the icon Mayu for Mayu's Superfly Championship, and now Misa Matsui has entered the Dreamstar Tournament, Marigold's version of the 5-star Grand Prix. So today, in Dreamstar Fighting Meerkat Marigold Misa Matsui movie, let's finally examine and talk about one of my favorite wrestlers in Joshi in the Psycho Speed Misa Matsui. This little mischievous Harlequin duende of adorable darkness. Right after the jumps.
Who's ready for story time with Meerkat?
Misa Matsui started her career as a stage actress and fellow actress girls performer Maru's Kakume Mizuhiro. At just 17 years old, her ambitions were already high as the high flyer she would become. Maru's theater company featured Joshi many of us would come to recognize, like Nuts Boy and Shuri. They were just a tiny company and ran for 15 years before recently closing their doors for one final show. Misa Matsui not only acted in their productions, but she had starring roles like this. In addition to performing, Misa also wanted to write scripts for production, which she has been credited for, and she wanted to direct. These are ambitions I hope never leave her. The pro wrestling originated from Maru's wrestling past, and production would feature pro wrestlers like Ranmaru, but it was a performance from one Hikaru Shida that inspired Misa Matsui to also enter the world of pro wrestling. I cannot tell you how many similar stories there are in the world of Joshi, and personally, besides idol training, my favorite background for a wrestler is a theater background. You can see this in Misa Matsui's performances from as early as 2019. Just look at her hit the dropkick, go for the cover and nursing her neck as she's pinning, and this lack of pressure for the cover leads to a kick out. In theater, Misa Matsui felt frustrated from the lack of upward momentum, something I could relate to greatly as an artist who was still grinding in and out with little to no upward momentum. I understand perfectly. But in wrestling, she found a new way to perform and engage with the audience. Wrestling is an art form far more than it is a sport, and Misa Matsui's ambitions fit it perfectly. She performed primarily for the Actress Girls, a company that is not pro wrestling, but they still wrestle more than Tokyo Joshi at times, and treat the drama seriously. But this semantic distinction created a wall for Misa as she could only perform exclusively for the Actress Girls. Once again finding herself in a situation with no upward momentum, Misa still found joy in her work, as head trainer Fuka put in the work to create interesting unit warfare and relationships with the players. This was when I discovered Misa Matsui. When I was doing a deep dive on Asako Miya in my video on Miku Ano, I learned about Misa Matsui and her performances captured me. She was vivid, she moved like water, there was a clear passion involved, she was giving everything, and the story of her struggle was being portrayed immaculately by her face. The very idea of acting and wrestling and actress girls was perfectly embodied by someone like Misa Matsui, in my opinion. That same heart and spirit and attention to detail that I praise about Mayu Iwatani is the same way I can talk about Misa Matsui. The way she crawls towards the ropes in submission and her face speaks volumes. One particular great match was a hardcore match against the woman who brought her into the theater troupe, Maru, who killed her. The smacking of the fist, the curling of the hand, venting a passionate scream, the Matsui Kawaii driver for the victory over her mentor. Misa was also a part of the group Teppen, which is a shirt that I own, involving the late Asahi, who sadly passed very, very young. Which leads me to how wrestling and real life can intersect into catharsis. One particular emotional and quite powerful and inspiring performance happened when Misa Matsui faced then AWG champion Mari. This was mere weeks after Asahi's passing, and Misa performed her heart out to get through this. It was so incredible to watch that it just left me in awe. At one point, she climbed the top rope and yelled Teppen, her old teammates, with such tenacity, and it was just, you felt it in your heart, the pain in her. She would still lose the match, but backstage, she would just release it all. Isn't that the power of art? That's the power of this art form, as it involves a lot of physicality and body control, but it's a canvas for someone to release emotions through the art that is pro wrestling, and that's like any art form for any artist, something we use to release our own inner struggles, and especially pain, to make something beautiful. And this is something I find that Misa Matsui always does. Misa would eventually aspire to grow as a pro wrestler, and when the opportunity came along from Fuka to join Marigold in the flower fields with the other AWG6, just like her speedy speedstar self, she quickly said yes. Her first match, she teamed with fellow actress girl Natsumi Suzuki in a losing effort, but these two eventually entered a rivalry to become the first Superfly champion. They faced each other in the finals in a tremendous match, especially for Matsui, who I was all in for by this point. Her faces, the way she just locks in and just becomes present in the moment, her goal, the title, and that is all that is in her world. Nothing matters but the now. She lost the match to the veteran Natsumi, and this would be the story of Misa Matsui's entire Marigold career thus far, and it's why making a video on her was difficult at first. She's had 6 title matches in Marigold's first year of existence, and she lost them all. Her performances in the inaugural Dreamstar Grand Prix were admirable, especially against the final boss Sari, but she only scored 2 points with victory against a rookie, Kazuna Tanaka. Her rematch against Shizuki for the Superfly seemed like a great chance for Matsui to achieve title gold, but the result was yet another passionate, beautiful performance from Misa, who showed a heart of fire. But another loss to the champion still. Even teaming with said champion Natsumi in the Twin Star Finals would yield another loss. Part of this continuous losing streak is why she chose to have fun and be cute and super evil with Darkness Revolution instead. See, she was being her typical plucky self, calling herself super cute and encouraging everyone to say
Matsui kawaii.
but none of that led to major victories. She would have her third title shot for the Superfly against young Victoria Yuzuki, who managed to do what Misa couldn't do and defeat Natsumi Shizuki. And yet again, the story continues to be the same. A heartfelt performance from Misa. She lands the Matsui Kawaii driver, but young Vicky Cristina Barcelona Yuzuki here turns Super Vicky and restarts her health. So after another competitive fire, Vicky with a vicious super kick and follows up with her triple Mayu Iwatani inspired moonsaults, one for each turnbuckle to solidly defeat Misa. Once again, Misa performed brilliantly, but couldn't achieve victory. Falling to evil makes sense, but this is a different descent into madness. Chiaki and Darkness Revolution literally just kidnapped her, and a confused Matsui just like, okay. And she became this evil, mischievous gremlin in colorful gear. She's like a duende just misplacing things around the house. Why not just have fun and look amazing while you're at it? Instead of the Speed Star, she's Psycho Speed. Here's my prop. It's a chair. I smile, and I still call myself super cute. Now I can kill you too while being super cute. Darkness Revolution, the Flower Field's evil group of hoodlums. You got the notable baddie, Nagisa Nozaki, the muscle Enchiaki, and recently the anime otaku Ria Seto in the villain arc, but she didn't change her gear because she was always a little weirdo and a little evil. Along with Misa Matsui as their adorable madness bringer of chaos, we have a solid group of villains to burn down the flower fields. Misa Matsui and Chiaki are a team, and look how evil they are. So evil. But despite their evil, they still lost to the defending Twin Star champions, Nanae Takahashi and Super Rookie Seri Yamaoka. And then weeks later, she would be granted a title shot at the United National Championship, and the champion, the Lady of the Ring, Mai Sakurai, whose Confucian euros are so precious that this meerkat is no longer a commoner. Once again, same story. Amazing performance by Misa Matsui, one I already gushed about in this review here, where every face and expression was something I can talk about. She was wonderful here and gave it her all, but her ladyship is in her peak form and defeated Matsui by making her tap out. Another loss for Matsui, and this time, her ladyship scolds the commoner for choosing Darkness Revolution, for choosing fun over the seriousness it takes to be champion in the flower fields. Misa Matsui has simply become a challenger for too long, but her latest shot, her 6th title shot in a year, was against the icon Mayu Iwatani for the Superfly Championship in a personal dream match of mine, with 2 of the best expressive performers, and in Mayu's case, my GOAT of pro wrestling. It's yet another case of filling a house show with a Mayu match, and they need a great performer to give a great main event, so of course, Misa Matsui is brought out. If only this wasn't just a hard cam and had at least one more green camera to capture their faces, as thus, my personal dream match between the two is now a rematch in Cork and Hall that I want. This doesn't diminish either of their quality work though, and the cameraman sure tried their best to capture faces. It was still a passionate performance from Misa Matsui, who had the crowd behind her, all starting with Mayu tossing the ball to this guy instead of the crowd, and they all turned on her. Oh dear. This was a high-speed warfare with Mayu Iwatani, where Misa, the mischievous dark psycho, attacking first, and the quick high-speed action. And quickly, this tricksy gremlin cheats Mayu, and then Darkness Revolution attacks and tortures Mayu because Mayu can never get away from the evil group torturing her. I 100% wish there was a second cameraman to capture the reactions, and I almost want to scream at Sonny Gutierrez right there to release the Sunny cut. And Yuzuki, that's not how to second someone. The evil Misa Matsui targeting Mayu's neck, being clever to outwit Mayu Iwatani and remain in control over the match. When it's Mayu's turn to destroy Misa, she tanks the hits and eats a full-on Mayu dive to the outside, and the icon like this. The slow pause as she rises to the top rope to land the drop kick. The slow hesitation before the rise, and the leap for the frog splash. The wince after because Misa is too strong to lose this way. I'm sorry, this is a Misa Matsui video, not a Mayu Glaze Fest. Misa Matsui's performance, even with a hard cam, was beautiful to watch. It's her passion and the emotion she puts into performances when paired with my GOAT, the wrestler who I find to be the best performer in wrestling, the way she smacks Misa. And when Misa hits the knee and fails to win, her reaction is that of pain. How much more she has to go to defeat Goku, and she has to risk it all to do so. Be clever at how she goes about it, and have Mayu down on the ground for a vicious double stomp by this minion. And like all of her major matches before, Misa Matsui lands the Matsui Kawaii driver and still cannot defeat the opponent, yet she doesn't remain shocked for long. She goes for the finish again, and we have an excellent final bit of action. We have counter wrestling and counter wrestling, countering and countering, and Misa nearly stole the victory from Mayu. She had to survive an ugly dragon suplex, dodge the two-step, yet eat a really ugly tombstone pile driver. Mayu Iwatani just has too many killer moves to end you with in the late stage, and destroys Misa Matsui with a buzzsaw kick. And when Misa kicks out, you can see Mayu frustrated because she knows she has to climb up and hit a goddamn moonsault and hurt her knees in the process, which she does and destroys Misa Matsui's knees for the victory. Once again, Chiaki has to carry the determined minion away as she attempts to crawl back to the ring to Mayu. Misa Matsui lost again, and what is the common theme in her Marigold career? Being a loser, baby. 6 tile shots, all well performed, but Misa is unable to find the win. Her arc reminds me of Starlight Kid's arc in Stardom, someone who was bright, who was kidnapped into the dark, and just decided, well, I like being evil, and then kept losing all the big major title matches until she joined the light again, went full circle in color, and won the white belt. Maybe this is the story of Misa Matsui, the Psycho Speed, turned back to the Speed Star. This Harlequin Duende woman creature of pure mischievous evil, going back to just being cute. Regardless though, I am a major fan of Misa Matsui, and especially of her wrestling, because of just how much she puts into her performances. And seeing her early theatric work and her younger self in that theater environment created by Maru, it only enhances what I see in Misa. I see a dedicated performer of the arts. Someone who found a deep passion in performing in the same way she was when she was acting on stage, but in front of a larger crowd in the world of wrestling. Personally, just from a filmmaker's point of view, I love watching actors, and in wrestling, they're not actors, but I love watching performers when they are 100% locked in the zone of their character. And Misa Matsui does just that and adds all the little things that I love to see when I watch pro wrestling. Almost the same stuff that Mayu Iwatani does. And she is just on the same type of track to be just as good as the icon is. I do hope she keeps her ambitions of writing and directing, but regardless, she is writing and directing pro wrestling matches in collaborations with other people every single time she steps in the ring. I think the world of Misa Matsui, and hopefully, she can rise out of being a loser, baby. Hey, thank you. All my Marigold Patreon sponsors. We have my newest one, CJ Vinehorn. Thank you. Also have Goose Road Doc, Sailor Cosmos, Big H, Venblad, Martian Kai, Antheus, Rizzo, Bios, Joshi Bar, Bibbidi Bobbidi, whatever, Joe Pro, Jana Bullet, Great, Raw Cuz 99, Luciano, Ruedo, Doggo Snake, Tony Davis, Lil Choo Choo. We have Jeff, Deej, Renee Valdez, Station Trades, Justin Stein, Method Pilchushka, Terrence, Dan Work, Kev, Mullen, MK, Ray, Kanashimi, Juggernaut Graphics, Aaron, Zacarias, I Want Victims, J. Olay, Paul, Dawn, Becker Summer, and Scott Racer. And back to Beck we go. Thank you, Beck.
Things are gonna change. I can feel it.